go. Welcome. Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to Cooper's Connection Time. Miss Logan, it is February.
Hard to believe. February 3rd, 2022. Yesterday, I was noticing the date was 02/02/2022. There were a lot of twos in the date yesterday, and now we're February 3rd.
That is really cool. Yes, you're right. 02, 02, 02, wow.
02/02/22.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Or 2222. And as you can see, it says, hello, February with hearts. Well, I wonder if some students out there already know what our character trait is. We're gonna quickly talk about it today. We're gonna talk about it more next week, but hearts, it's a really awesome character trait. It's so important for life and every day. I wonder what it is. What is our character trait focus for February? So let's see if you're right once we get to that slide. Here we go. We have our Rocky View land acknowledgement that we would like to take time for right now. And we'd like to try something different. Can I have everyone stand? So can I have everyone stand? And just like we would stand for our country and sing O Canada, we're not going to sing O Canada today. We're going to focus on the land acknowledgement and move on to some other special things. But what we'd like to try to do is sometimes we stand in honor of something or someone. And so just taking time to stand, being still and listening. So here we go. Mrs. McKinnon, I think you have some students to help with this.
I do. Here we have Avery and Camden from 5U, and I'll get you to step up nice and close.
Rocky View Schools would like to acknowledge the land and recognize the Indigenous people who footprints.
Okay.
Have marked these lands for a long immemorial. Together we can learn and honor the ways of knowing of Indigenous people for all future generations.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, girls. Our land acknowledgement is a way for us to pause and stop and remember our past, the past peoples, Indigenous peoples, the history, the stories of the land. And we want to recognize what we're standing on has history and so much truth and feeling and meaning. So that is what we do when we are doing a land acknowledgement, acknowledging the land and its history and where people have lived on this land time before us, many, many, many years ago. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. I'm still standing though, because I'm at a standing desk. All right, here we go. Mrs. Logan, what is our character trait?
Our new character trait for February is kindness. We all know what kindness means, and we practice kindness all the time. Kindness is shown when we make actions or speak in ways that are intended to help other people. If we think ahead before we act or before we speak, and we look for ways to help others, that shows kindness.
So we are going to have so many fun special activities this month, Miss Logan, and Mrs. McKinnon is helping with a lot of them. And around the school in your classes, we are going to be looking for kindness, and there are some fun ways we're going to be showing kindness as well. So we will learn more next week.
Awesome. Sounds great.
Oh, Mrs. McKinnon, what's this?
Oh, this is all of the food bank. So this is our top teams. Well, all the teams were top teams. There was very little difference between the points that all the teams earned. As you can see, the Curious Chameleons earned 693 points. And if you remember, each point means either $1 or one food item. So that means $693 and food items were raised by that team. Then we have the Brave Belugas, $585 or food items, which means 585 points. And the Polite Penguins with 561 points. So that was one way we looked at it. And then we also had a little bit of a competition going just to generate some excitement and get things going. So we have the top 5 teams on the next slide.
Wow. Very, very cool. Can I just have everyone give a round of applause for everyone's effort so far? And Miss Logan, weren't you impressed with all the food too? I mean, there was money, but all of the food, oh my goodness.
So thoughtful, and that definitely showed kindness and being proactive to plan ahead and bring things. But I'm also interested to look at all of these points at how the tallies are all quite similar. Very, very close. That means that everyone was working really hard to do their best. So that makes me happy.
Yeah, it warms my heart too. So exciting. So awesome, everyone. Wow. Miss Logan, you announced this yesterday. Tell us more.
Miss Logan or
Mrs. McKinnon. Sorry, Mrs. McKinnon.
Oh, and the other cool thing is I will get an email from the food bank because when they take all that food back, they weigh it. So we'll find out how many pounds it is. And I'm just waiting for that email to come through really soon, and I'll let you know. So here were the top classes. 3R with 340 points. And what I love that 3R and 3M did to generate points was the kids did extra chores, did bottle drives, did other good things to raise money. And every dollar that's raised is really worth double that for the food bank because they can get some really good prices at wholesale prices. So 3R with 340 points, 3M had 184. Next up was 5P with 162, 5U 159, and 5S with 152. So congratulations to all those teams. We had a little bit of I call it a social reward. So they're all getting to choose what they want to do. And I believe that 3R and 3M have chosen to do a speed stacking party. 5P chose an extra recess, and I'm still waiting for 5U and 5S's decision.
Wow. And I can't believe all the grade 5s are part of the top winning classes. I mean, well done, grade 5s. And everyone across the school, so proud of you. Let's do one more round of applause. Woo!
Great job, everyone. Well done.
That was so exciting. That is so amazing. All right. So we have just been finishing now. We're at the tail end of Literacy Week. It was a blast. There are so many pictures and so many amazing things happening around the school. We are going to show more, Miss Logan, next week. So we're going to feature Literacy Week next week with some more photos. But here's just a little look of people working on, their reading, whether it's outside or dressing up as a fun character. What kinds of fun things have you seen, Miss Logan?
Oh, all sorts of things. I really enjoyed the favorite character dress-up day, especially when I could tell who was dressed up as Harry Potter or Hagrid or Dr. Seuss or Waldo or was it William maybe that I saw who was dressed up as, now I can't remember the story. He had a crown and I knew exactly who the character was when I saw it, but now the name has escaped me. But the effort and creativity that people put into Literacy Week was awesome. People had fun reading in the dark, reading with their pajamas on, and just celebrated our ability to read. And if we can read, we can learn about anything in the whole wide world that we want. So that's a great power to have.
Oh, it's a great power. It's like a superpower. I love it.
Yes. And I also loved being the guest reader in classes yesterday. I think all the adults who were able to do that had a lot of fun, and it was nice to visit different classes. And that was my best highlight, was reading different books yesterday.
Me too. And you know what a great segue. What is next is a special guest. So here we go. We have on our Zoom today a special guest. Join us in welcoming an author. Her name is Laurelle Harwood. So if we can have, if we were in person, we would clap. So let's welcome her. Everybody clapping. And Mrs. Harwood, where are you?
My camera is on.
There you are. Perfect. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I've spotlit you. So your spot, you're on spotlight for everyone, I believe. And there we go. Take it away, Miss Harwood and or Laurelle.
Thank you so much. I appreciate being here today. Thank you for the introduction. And I'm very, very happy about a lot of things I've heard today in your school. Wow, such amazing things you're doing for kindness and literacy and food bank. Wow, I'm very pleased and honored to be with you today. I am also a first-time author, and you're doing Literacy Week, or you've been concentrating on literacy, it sounds like. So I'm happy to be here for that reason. I do believe it is a superpower for sure, and it's very helpful in your life. So I'm glad that I could be here and share my book and do a little bit of reading for you. So my book is called Orange Cat, Gray Cat, Perfect Opposites. It's a children's book, and it's actually about my daughter's Kit Kats. And I wrote about them because they have such special personalities, and they really are opposite in their personalities. So I wanted to capture that in a story. And I've done that with these, well, they're really characters, and I've tried to capture how opposite they are. It also talks about, the book also talks about kindness and trying new things and being courageous and trying to move out of your comfort zone. So hopefully you will see that as we read through the book. Before we get started though, I did want to talk a little bit about myself. Like I said, I'm a first-time author. I do another job full-time right now. I am a counselor with Alberta Health Services, and this reading is just a little, this writing of books is just a bit of a hobby I've taken up, but I do hope to continue that into my retirement. So that's my plan. But I also wanted to let you know, I really do appreciate your land acknowledgement. I am a Métis woman who was born and raised in Alberta. I actually live near the Chestermere area and went to high school there. And then I moved to Airdrie to raise my family. So as I said, I have a grown daughter and son now, and they grew up reading. And so reading was very important to me. And I remember times of cuddling on the couch and reading books with the kids. So that was a really fond memory for me. And I've just like to carry that on with my writing, hopefully. So that's my plan. I think we could get started in reading the book, and I'll go through it. And like I said, maybe keep your ears and eyes open for signs of kindness throughout the book. Maybe some bravery and courage from Gray Cat and some kindness from Orange Cat. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to stand to do this because I'm on a laptop, and I think it'll be easier to see my camera when I stand. Then I'll sit back down and you can ask me some questions. Okay, here we go. So the book is Orange Cat, Gray Cat, Perfect Opposites. And this book is dedicated to my daughter, Olivia. So, in a little blue house down on Sycamore Street lived Orange Cat and Gray Cat, one sassy, one sweet. Gray Cat loved to curl up and cuddle, purr and yawn. Orange Cat was restless, slipping out before dawn. Orange Cat was curious in fearless cat ways, wild boy adventurous, in love with summer days. His favorite thing was to climb trees. Ooh. Gray Cat, come join me. I will be the perfect host. No, thank you, said Gray Cat. I prefer home the most. She was definitely an indoor cat. One warm, lazy day, Gray Cat slept curled on the floor. The wind stirred up and blew open the screen door. Creak. Gray Cat ran out, startled, as the door swung wide. Thwack, the door slammed back, and Gray Cat was locked outside. Anxiously, she meowed, "Someone, please let me in." Orange Cat crept closer, much to Gray Cat's chagrin. Chagrin means annoyance. She was a little annoyed that he was getting so close. "Come join me, Gray Cat. Come see what you were missing." Instead, Gray Cat hunched and spat and began hissing. Orange Cat bounded, looking over his shoulder. "Climb a tree, chase a bird, come have fun," he told her. Gray Cat was not convinced that outside was for her, so she sniffed the breeze and the wind tickled her fur. The air smelled of lilacs, damp mowed grass, and exhaust. Honeybees hummed with glee, having cheated the frost. Outside was inviting, exciting, not boring, so Gray Cat left the porch, cautiously exploring. Orange Cat called out from his perch, high in a tree, "Come follow me, Gray Cat, up is splendid. Come and see." See him sitting up there and trying to get her, coax her up. Curious, she climbed up. To Orange Cat's surprise, Orange Cat cheered her on. Gray Cat focused her eyes. Up, up. Slow and steady. Gray Cat's claws dug in. Her fur fluffed twice its size from her hair to her chin. From her head to her chin, sorry. Gray Cat was determined. Soon she was at the top. The view was amazing. The beauty was non-stop. "Hooray!" cheered Orange Cat. "You conquered all you feared." They hunted, they scrambled. Gray Cat's cares disappeared. They chased scolding squirrels. They launched for dragonflies. They missed, but loved the game. Time passed before their eyes. They had lots of fun. The day was filled with fun, but Gray Cat grew weary. It was time to climb down. Now Gray Cat was leery. This means she was unsure. "Watch me," coaxed Orange Cat. "Follow, do what I do." Sure-footed, he leapt down. Certain Gray Cat would too. But she panicked and froze. Her heart pitter-pattered. Gray Cat was terrified. Down was all that mattered. "Backward," she said out loud. "I know I can do it." Birds twittered and taunted, but Gray Cat stuck to it. She turned with back feet down, her mind on her mission. Gray Cat soon reached the ground, her well-earned position. Her confidence boosted and her self-esteem high, Gray Cat knew her courage and brother were nearby. Gray Cat flickered her tail, grateful for her brother. He rubbed up against her. They cared for each other. Perfect fur family, opposite from the start. They curled up together, close to each other's heart. The end. I hope you enjoyed it.
Wow, that warmed my heart at the end. Can I have everyone clap for our guest? Wonderful.
I love the story and I loved how you made it rhyme, and you had to be very thoughtful about how you could keep the story moving forward, but yet keep the rhyme going. That was very thoughtful.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so now we do have some prepared questions, actually. So
Wonderful.
I'm just going to take a look here. We have questions from 3M and 1M, and then we'll see, and we're not going to be able to go through all these questions, but as you can see, there's a lot of good questions that we've thought of and that they've thought of.
That's great.
And so we're going to have 3M start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to stop sharing. 3M, I'm going to spotlight you with Laurelle. So here we go.
Okay, so we'll just go one at a time, guys.
Go ahead and
Do you have another?
Oh, just wait a second, honey.
just a second. I'm looking for you to, let's just see here.
You'll see Joe on the front.
I know there you are. There's so many classrooms right now and I'm trying to, all right. So
That's
add
great.
spotlight. There you go. We have 2
Okay,
shown.
maybe
Go
step
for
up
it.
a little bit closer.
Hi,
honey.
3M.
Hello. Okay, big voice.
Do you have another book coming soon?
Well, that's a very good question. I do actually. I've written another book and it's just getting ready to be published.
There we go. Good job.
What is it
Thanks,
called?
Joe.
Thanks.
Okay, go ahead, Arturo. Big voice.
How long did it take to make this book?
Good question.
Well, it took me about 3 months to write. You have to come up with a story and then an idea and then a story. And then you have to think about the pictures for the story. And then it took about another 7 months for it to be published. So about a year altogether, 10 months, and then about 2 more months to put it out. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Okay, Grace, come up, honey. Big voice.
How hard was it to write your first book?
Well, you know, it is always hard to try something new because I'd never done it before, but it was so much fun that actually it really wasn't that hard once I got started because it was about something I knew. It was about my daughter and her cats. And so when you know something pretty well, it's easier to write about.
Okay.
Thanks.
Did animals inspire you to write this book?
Sorry.
Say it again.
Did animals inspire you to write this book?
Actually, what inspired me initially was reading stories to my daughter because she loved it so much when she was a little girl. But then, of course, the kitty cats were the characters because they have such great personalities. So it was both.
There you go. Good. Thank you.
Thank you, 3M.
Yes, thank you, 3M. Great job.
Hey, good questions.
Yes, and now we have some more questions from 1M. So 1M. Just trying to find you. There you are.
While you find them, I just wanted to say thank you to Joseph, Arturo, Grace, and Chelsea. I think that was Chelsea. It was hard to tell with the mask. Was that Chelsea?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. 1M, if you guys could introduce yourselves before you ask your question, that is awesome also.
Oh, that's
1M.
idea.
Hi, we are unprepared with somebody to ask the questions. Do you happen to have the list? of
Yes, let's see. I can share my, let's see what happens if I share my screen here. I have your long list. Maybe choose your top 3 questions, or we'll see. Yeah, maybe
All
3
right.
questions.
Lola, would you like to come ask the question? No, okay. Well, I think everybody wanted to know, what is your favorite color?
Favorite color? Wow, that's a very, very good question. I would say my favorite color is blue, because I think it just goes with everything.
I'd have to agree with that. And then the other ones, I can hear the feedback in here. The other one, Joseph already asked one of our questions, and
I'm curious about the last question you guys thought of.
oh, candy. Yes, that was a big one too. What is your favorite candy?
Oh, I love anything chocolate. Yeah, anything with chocolate on it, I like it. I think chocolate covered strawberries though are probably at the top of my list.
Awesome. And then I think during our class discussion, this also came up, and I really would like to know,
Sure.
what made you want to become an author?
Well, I never really planned, but I think when I was a little girl, I loved to read because of the places it took me in my mind and my imagination. And so it was always a really positive thing to read and write. And I used to write stories from a very young age. So I always imagined writing stories, and it just expanded. And then once I got a bit older and didn't have so much on my plate and my kids were grown, I decided I had some time. So especially over the last 2 years where we've been a bit maybe closed in a little bit in our houses a bit more, it did give me a positive opportunity. So I'm happy that I have happy memories about that time.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, 1M. Great
And-
questions.
Yes, and now we just have a few minutes. If there are any other wonderings from classes out there, we can take a few more questions. So any other classes out there that might have a question that they'd like to share?
Not a question, but we want to brag in 23R. We already have a signed copy of the book.
Wow.
And how did you manage that?
You wrote it to Rosie the cat
Oh, great.
at a Christmas market for the Meow Foundation.
Oh, wait, can we see that again? Can we see it again? Wow.
Wow. Oh, I'm so happy.
It says, to Rosie, the best cat ever, and then signed by the author.
Oh,
I hope Rosie loves it.
and I see in the chat 4C also. 4C, you
Yes,
have,
I have a question.
oh, you have a question. Okay.
How many books have you published?
Just the one so far. So this one was just published in July of 2020. So it's really only been a little over 6 months. But I'm looking to, like I said, publish my next one very quickly here. So keep your eyes and ears open.
Very cool. And we have a question from 2B. So
I see one that says, what is your favorite book?
yes, go for that.
So my favorite book is a book called The Grapes of Wrath. And you probably won't read it until about maybe grade 6 or 7, or maybe later, maybe high school. But it's an excellent, excellent book about family and overcoming adversity or difficult things, and resilience, the ability to bounce back and survive.
And 2B.
Yes, we're here. Jocelyn here has a question for you.
What's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal? Well, obviously cats are at the top of the list, and dogs as well. But I also grew up riding horses, and I still love horses. And I love to ride every chance I get.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And 3L, it looks like there's a question from 3L.
I think it was, when did I start writing the book? It would have been in March of 2020. And no, it would have been March 2019 actually is when I started writing it. And then it took until July 2020 to publish.
Can I sneak in here and
Yes.
ask a question?
Yes,
Sure.
My question is, how did you organize the illustrations? Did you do the illustrations yourself, or did you find an artist who could create them to fit your vision?
I actually had to come up with a concept about what I wanted the illustrations to be, but then a professional person illustrated them for me. So we worked together. It was a collaboration. But I did have to have a kind of a vision in my mind about how I wanted the pictures to look. And then the artist, the illustrator, took it from there.
Thank you. That sounds interesting.
It is an interesting process. Someone asked what the cats' names were, so I'd like to answer that if I could. So they're Orange Cat, Gray Cat in the book, but their real names are, Gray Cat's name is Meryl. And that's after Meryl Streep, because that's my daughter's favorite actress. And she is a bit of a diva, not Meryl, but the cat. So it seemed like a good fit. And Orange Cat's name was Marco, and he was adopted from Jamaica. And DeMarco is a common name there. So my daughter decided to name him DeMarco, but it was shortened to Marco. So it's Marco and Meryl were their real names.
very cool. I noticed there was a few hands, and it's easier, everyone, if you put stuff in the chat for me to see, but 2F, I think you had your hand up. If you still have a question, go for it. And 1K, there's a question as well.
Okay, go ahead.
What is your favorite thing in life?
My favorite thing in life. Wow, that's a pretty deep question. Well thought out. Let me think about that. Probably family. Family is really, really, really important to me. And everything about spending time with the people I love is really important to me as well.
And 1K, where are you?
You can ask your question.
What is the book about?
The next book.
Oh, the next book is about, I can't give too much away, but it's about knitting and family. So you'll just have to wait and see how I knit those two things together.
And 1B, maybe this is a great final question, I think. 1B, that is an awesome question. Does someone want to say the question, Mrs. Burndred?
Zoe, ask it. Yeah, they're coming. What's your favorite?
Thing about being an author.
Wow, what's your favorite?
That was, what's your favorite thing about being an author?
Wow, I like the whole process from beginning to end. I like the coming up with the idea and then seeing it all the way to the end and having a finished product. So it's really about that achievement, because it was fun, but it was definitely kind of moving outside of my comfort zone, and I loved it. So it's the whole process, but it's actually seeing the finished book at the end and what that looks like. That's very, I don't know, it just makes me feel good.
And Miss Logan, I saw you had your hand up.
Sorry, that was from previously. I asked my question.
I think there might still be some more questions. Sure, we'll have one more. I see in the chat, 5S. If 5S wanted to say it. Or I can.
I'm here.
Oh, there we go.
The question is, what is your favorite food?
Oh boy, I like everything Italian. So all Italian food, which sometimes works against me, but I also love to go outside a lot. So I try to get some good exercise and fresh air especially after I've had a big pasta dinner, because that's one of my favorites. Oh, and pizza, don't forget pizza.
Oh, let's just see who else in the school likes Italian food and pasta or pizza. Who else likes pizza? I
Two
know there's a
hands
lot
for
of
that.
pizza lovers out there. Well, Miss Logan, would you like to end our time together?
Sure. I would just like to say thank you so much, Ms. Harwood, for planning to spend this time with us this morning and for doing such a great job at reading your book and showing the pictures, explaining the process and answering everyone's questions. This has been very exciting for us to have a local real author who does a regular job and took this up as a hobby. It's very impressive for kids to see that anyone, if you put the time and effort into it, could be an author, but you have to work hard at it. So thank you. It's been really lovely meeting you, and we appreciate you joining us for Connection Time today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for inviting me. And it's been lovely. I appreciate all your excellent questions, and I hope everybody has a lovely day.
Thank you.
And
And one last thing I'd like to say,
Sure.
Ms. Prudham, sorry. Thank you to Ms. Prudham and to Mrs. Riel for suggesting Laurelle Harwood initially and for putting this together for us this morning. We really appreciate that as well. It's been very exciting to cap off our Literacy Week.
And one more little thing, Miss Logan, is we'd like to let everyone know we are buying some books.
Yay.
So, yes, so we are looking at buying 10 or more books. So we're going to have a whole bunch, a little package of your books. So there can be for small groups of kids to read, or to even, I mean, like Miss Logan said, there's poetry in your books. So it could even be an investigation of poetry and words, or just practicing reading and having fun in small groups, or classes could use those books as well. So I'll be in touch, Laurelle, after this with the details.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
I appreciate your kindness in inviting me. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye now.
Let's give her
Bye.
a clap, everyone. Just like if we were in the gym together and in a assembly clap.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coopers, for being a good audience also.
Thank you. And so we're going to now end Connection Time. If you'd like to wave and say goodbye, you go for it. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye.
You all did a great job as audience members. Good job.